Good evening. It is Sunday, March 14th of 2021, and this is the next video on the channel. This is uh, Sunday evening. I was late putting up videos, and some of them didn't even pan out. I'm not thrilled, but then again, it's okay because it just is. Okay, so but March 14th, 2021, day of the Grammys, and of course, I didn't watch because I currently have no TV, local TV, and I was late waking up anyway to catch it. So, no can do. However, I do have the results and the winners. Um, I will cover them Monday the 15th, tomorrow, really. The world on this day saw some pretty prominent deaths. We'll start with celebrity deaths. In 2018, on this day, March 14th, Stephen Hawking, the English physicist, black holes and baby universes, which he's most famous for, he passed at 76 from a condition that he beat the odds on for quite a while. Uh, it was really bad. I remember when he passed, I'm like, really? That's just strange because some people you think would not pass away usually. Uh, when they do pass, it's such a shock and all that. So, rest in peace to Mr. Hawking, wherever you may be. Today's birthdays in the celebrity realm as we celebrate this wonderful, wonderful Sunday where the weather is nicer, hopefully nicer in areas that were affected by tornadoes yesterday, Texas, et cetera, et cetera. It was a pretty interesting, interesting string of weather we had, aside from the bitterly cold temperatures we had exactly a month ago, and now all of a sudden it's nice and warm. You can go outside, walk the dog in shorts and a t-shirt or whatever you do. And it's just been a very strange turn of events. But then again, everything's all running together anyway. This is 2021, go figure. And it's just totally mind blowing that people are experiencing this hot, cold, and of course, everything's opening back up in Texas. And I saw on Facebook a huge bash indoors, no mask, etc. Then again, that's not exactly something I want to get into. Um, yeah, this is a pretty dry day for births. Really, I'm gonna have to go back a century or two ago, I think. Well, I found one, 1961. Happy birthday, Gary Delabate, producer of the Howard Stern Show, a show that I listened to quite often for a while. Happy birthday also Kirby Puckett, born this day in 1960, the center fielder for the Twins. Chicago native. Unfortunately, he did pass in 2006. But still, we celebrate his birthday on this day because he was a very amazing athlete and will be missed, I'm sure. He has been all this time. Let's see here. Andrew Robinson, one of my own British author. Any authors I take a lot of attention to because well they're I'm with them, I'm kindred with them. So basically that's almost all that I can really think of right now that I see so far. I'm only in 1942. Um, anyway, so Raymond J. Barry, American actor. Happy birthday to him. Born in 39. Let's see here. And one more. Just one more. Of course, if you think of any birthdays on this day, famous or otherwise, just simply include them in the comments. Yes, Michael Caine, Maurice J. Micklewhite by birth. English actor, famous for Alfie, was born in London, England. Happy birthday, Mr. Caine. Thank you for all your contributions and your hard work and your genius. The music world we'll see the 30th anniversary of Nirvana's Nevermind in September of this year. So I think, yes, 2021, 30-year anniversary of Nevermind. There's my marbles. I have them all now. That's their second album, and the band's first full effort with Grohl on the drums and Novoselic, and of course the late great Kurt Cobain. He says fans shouldn't be surprised if a separate collection is already being planned elsewhere. And they have not discussed it yet. And there's actually a lot of reassurance in my generation who listen to Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, etc., that it's still extremely dominant in a lot of things. There are a lot of youth these days, teenagers, that are discovering a lot of the music I grew up with, and of course this is quite a while later, at least 20 years. But it's a very, Grohl doesn't really think about what Kurt would have thought of the Foo Fighters. And he just doesn't think that it's, he just doesn't think it's important to think about in a recent interview, Grohl also opened up about the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol from Donald Trump supporters, calling it the craziest thing he had ever seen in his entire life. So, anyway, it's been a very interesting time lately. Within a month's time, we've gone from bitterly cold to pleasantly to very comfortable in the weather, and it's been a very huge relief, honestly. And I thought maybe, just maybe, I would probably be able to shed some light on some things going on elsewhere online. Of course, in Azrael Kane's Straight Jacket Cafe. I covered a film that probably is not thought of very often for a pretty good reason. And also learned that one of the cast had passed away as a result of a double homicide. The video is age restricted for obvious reasons. Pretty bad material as far as disturbing and stuff, and I thought it would just be great to kind of really just kind of, you know, age restricted because it's pretty bad. I will be doing a reading on video very soon. As far as that goes, well, so I'll just find it real quick. I want to feature one poem by Sylvia Plath, and it's she was a very troubled young woman. She was born in 32 to middle class parents in 1932 in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, and published her first poem at the age of 8. I would say she's a very um, talented lady at that point to be a childhood, to be a very successful in the realm of poetry as a child. She was a bit of a perfectionist and a model daughter and student. A popular straight A student, always winning the best prizes. Won a scholarship to Smith College in 1950 and even had an enviable list of publications. So she wrote over 400 poems while at Smith. So I wanted to read one of these, Aquatic Nocturne. And maybe, just maybe, what I'll do is I will probably read more than just one. But you know, poetry has never really been a thing of mine. Yeah, you can follow her on allpoetry.com, which is where I am right now. I'll include the link. There's a poem called Aquatic Nocturne. It goes, this is my first look at her poetry, her poems, and I like what I see so far. Poetry is kind of an odd area for me, but I'll make it work. So, Aquatic Nocturne. Deep in liquid indigo, turquoise, slivers of dilute light, quiver in thin streaks of bright tinfoil on mobile jet, pale founder, waver by tilting silver. In the shadows, agile minnows flicker gilt. Gray blue mussels dilate lithe in pliant valves, dull lunar globes. A bulbous jellyfish glow milk green. Eels twirl in wily spirals on elusive trails. Adroit lobsters amble darkly olive on shrewd claws. Down where sound comes blunt and wan, like the bronze tone of a sunken gong. So, there's a lot of comments on it. I love this. Kudos, good poem. No one says yes. It's my favorite all-time poem and favorite all-time poetess. And there's also a link. It inspired the title of one of my poetry books. By typology, I think this is an early poem of hers, as she seldom used lowercase on the first letter of each sentence. Enjoyable poem. I don't usually like her, but I like this. And the last comment I will read is a correction, missing a word. And they include, so deep in liquid indigo, turquoise slivers of dilute light, and apparently indigo in all caps. even cites the collected poems Sylvia Plath. Myra says, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention." So there is, I hear there's not a very huge market out there for poets at this point. I don't know why. Poetry, I think perhaps poetry has been this thing that people, this outlet of literary release that people just don't practice anymore, nor do they have any more uh, interest in, really. And I think that's really quite sad because people are completely, you know, in need of more. Um, they need to expand their horizons more by looking at the poetry and the poets and the poetesses. Um, Next, I will read Childless Woman, the last one, and of course, allpoetry.com. This is a pretty interesting one. So, Childless Woman, kind of morbid um, in the sense that, of course, considering how she passed, it would be kind of a really morbid thing. She basically the laments the inability to have children. Not too sure if she really had kids. I don't think she did, but hey, she was quite an amazing young lady who was taken from us far too soon. Childless woman, the womb rattles its pod, the moon discharges itself from the tree with nowhere to go. My landscape is a hand with no lines, the roads bunched to a knot, the knot myself. Myself the rose you achieve, this body, this ivory. Ungodly as a child's shriek. Spider-like, I spin mirrors, loyal to my image, uttering nothing but blood, taste it dark red in my forest. My funeral and this hill and this gleaming with the mouths of corpses. So, your thoughts on the Sylvia Plath poetry that really is quite morbid and dark. I like morbid and dark. It's quite amazing. So, Sylvia Plath. God almighty. I've got a little, you know. I've upset my stomach a little, y'all. Pardon me. Um, the poem for the uh, childless woman. Um, you would think that maybe she didn't have children or anything. And whatever premise I was written under, uh, Sylvia Plath did indeed have a child, a daughter named Frida, who announced in May of 2014 in a BBC.com article that she is becoming a counselor. She is a painter as well as a poet, just like her mother. She's the daughter of Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes, and she's going to do it based on a series of losses. and how people cope with tragedy. I think it would be a very awesome move. She's a very pretty lady, Frida Hughes. So, but it's never an easy thing um, to have that kind of history in your family that somebody has died by their own hand. But, there's always hope, and it's never something to be ashamed of. It's just something that happened, and that's unfortunate to carry the burden around like that. But just remember, there's nothing to be ashamed of. um, I really don't have anything else to say. Tomorrow I will have a rundown of the Grammys and everything, and it's a very interesting. I was looking at the winners tonight, and some of them, I don't know. I don't know what the world's coming to. I come from a generation where the Grammys consisted of things like Alice in Chains and Smashing Pumpkins, Pearl Jam, the whole deal. Even Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn, Alabama, all that. But nowadays you have a lot of other things that are just beyond awful, in my opinion. So, kind of don't know, just don't know. That's the video for now. Um, tomorrow, like I said, Grammy winners will be discussed and things of that nature. So, I don't know. I'm going to concentrate on another person's work, although I really can't think of who. Sorry. It's a little bit after a quarter after 11 p.m. on a Sunday right now. Look at the clock. March 14th. And I'm hoping that everybody takes care of themselves, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good night, day, and stay safe.